And then Kirk Cousins gets sacked by Ndamukong Suh. So that sets up a 36-yard field goal attempt by Dan Bailey, and that is wide right. Now 0 for 2 on kicks for Bailey, and it'll only get worse for Minnesota's kicker. Next drive for the Bucs, Brady, a lot of time, and he finds Scotty Miller for the 48-yard touchdown, and the Bucs take a 7-6 lead. Later in the second, Bailey from 54 yards away, and that one goes wide right also. 0 for 3 on field goals in this game for Bailey. Mike Zimmer, a little upset. Third quarter we go. Tampa's got a 17-6 lead now. Brady, Gronkowski, seen that a lot. The Bucs would miss their extra point. It's 23-6. Fourth quarter. Vikings trying to get something happening, but Cousins gets hit by Antoine Winfield. He fumbles. Loss of 8 as he regained it. Another sack. Bailey out for another field goal. He also missed an extra point. He's missed 7 kicks in the last 2 weeks. He missed 3 in the first 11. Bucs hang on to win at 26-14 was the final. Afterwards, Dan Graziano getting some reaction.
Ronald Jones after the Bucs victory over the Vikings. What was the key for you guys to get going after a slow start?
Yeah, I say coach just sticking with the run game, keeping the balance. You know, we got down early, but we was able to, great stops by defense and able to fight back. So I think that was the difference.
Rojo ran really, really well, especially that last drive. And we wanted to set up some play action. Didn't hit it as many as we hoped. But, you know, that when asked early this week about our identity, I think we just showed our identity. We can do any damn thing we want to do.
We win as a team, we lose as a team. And this league will test you no matter what position you play. And, you know, it's one day. Dan's done so many great things for us this season and made a lot of big-time kicks. And through his career, made so many big-time kicks. So, you know, you don't ever want to make a bigger deal out of one day than it needs to be.
If you guys want me to fire guys for making a mistake here, a mistake there, then we wouldn't have any players. Okay, so let's not put this all on Dan Bailey.
All right, Tom Brady pressured a season low 2 times Sunday, and he didn't take a sack for the 5th time this season. That continued a trend for the Bucs, who've won when they've kept Brady upright. In their 8 wins, Brady's been pressured 13% of the time. In their 5 losses, though, those pressures come twice as often. Rob, Brady did not get to 200 yards passing, but he did have 2 touchdowns, no picks in this game. What did you see as his key to success today?
Clean pocket. You know, he was able to evaluate the field. The offensive line did a great job, this being the lowest amount of pressures this season with only 2 pressures. And I want you just to watch the first deep pass that he had here. I mean, when you have almost 4 seconds to evaluate the field and go deep down the field, your offensive line is doing a great job. And we've seen it. And just like that stat before I started talking here, if you're pressured 13% of the times and you win those games and basically double that to almost 30% in your losses, then that is pretty much the biggest issue for Tampa. If they can continue to protect Tom Brady, give him the time that he needs to evaluate the field, throw the ball down the field, because he can still make every single throw that you want a quarterback to make. He can still get the deep ball down the field. He still has accuracy. But just like in the Bears game when he's rolling his eyes at Mac because he's been hit a million times, any quarterback that's on his back has a hard time throwing the ball with accuracy. So for Tampa to have success and get into the playoffs and go deep into the playoffs, they need to protect Tom Brady, the 43-year-old quarterback. He can't be getting hit. So it's clear. You can see it.
Yeah, and that's what was so key when Brady was in New England. The protection he got so often in games, especially in playoff games, he was able to pick apart defenses. Tim, coming into this matchup, you thought the Bucs and Vikings were pretty evenly matched. What was the difference today, though?
Well, listen, I do think they're evenly matched, and I think in many respects the Minnesota Vikings outplayed them. And, you know, Mike Zimmer can talk about, hey, you know, you win as a team, you lose as a team. You're not going to fire guys for every mistake they made. But listen, their kicker let them down today, plain and simple. Look, it's not fun to come on here and say it, but when you look at the missed opportunities, you're talking about 9 points. 10 points because he missed an extra point as well. And then when you combine that with the pass interference penalty that we saw at the end of the first half, which really was kind of a ridiculous call that led to 3 points for, Tampa Bay. Look, that's the difference in a football game where Minnesota, outrushes Tampa Bay. They run 76 plays to Tampa Bay's 49. They basically double them up in terms of time of possession. 39 minutes for Minnesota to just 21 minutes for Tampa Bay. They outplayed them. They played better than them. They just didn't score more points, which is how you win the football game. Right. And, in many respects, it's because the kicker let them down and they had one bad call at the end of the half. So look, when you have, I guess for me, I look at this. I don't look at this as, hey, Tampa's back on track. That's not what I saw. I saw two evenly matched teams. Minnesota, in many respects, gets the better of them. They just kind of have too many, miscues in the kicking game for them to win the football game.
Yeah, if you're Minnesota, you probably come out of this game feeling as if you gave it to the Buccaneers more than Tampa Bay won it from you. Let's go.
Happy with the Monster Angus Thick Burger.
All right, most of the games for Week 14 complete now on this Sunday. Tim Hasselbeck, Rob Ninkovich joining me now here on SportsCenter. And guys, let's get right to it because there was one particular game in the NFC that had several storylines. One, the Saints had a chance to clinch the NFC South for a fourth straight year. They needed to win over the Eagles to do it. But then Philly had a new quarterback, Jalen Hurts, getting the start for the recently benched Carson Wentz. And how would he start? By doing that. Touchdown pass to Alshon Jeffrey, 15 yards. Eagles take a 7-0 lead. Then here, it's 10-0 Philly. Miles Sanders like, I'll handle this one. 82 yards down the sideline. It's a 17-0 Eagles lead at the half. Let's go to the third quarter. Saints yet to get on the board. Alvin Kamara, that changed that. 5-yard touchdown run there. It's 17-7. Still in the third. Taysom Hill, play action looking deep for Emmanuel Sanders. And he had him. 37 yards in the pitch and catch. So the Saints score 14 straight points to cut it to a 3-point deficit. Fourth quarter, Saints going for it, 4th and 2. Hill rolls to the right, gets sacked, fumbles. Eagles recover. They would have got the ball anyway. It's all good, but they would not convert on the fourth down with the Saints, and that gives the Eagles a chance to do that. Sanders gets in the end zone. So now it's 24-14, and Mike Trout, cardboard cutout or not, he was hyped. Here come the Saints, though. Hill, Jared Cooks, what a catch. 20-yard touchdown there. So now it's a 3-point game. Saints go with the onside kick. And like the Eagles act like they didn't want to touch it for a while. And the ball gets loose and everyone says they have it. It actually hits off an Eagles player's foot. But somehow Jalen Mills goes in there and comes out with it. And the Eagles hang on to win it 24-21. Jalen Hurts 17 for 30, 167. He also ran for 106 yards. And speaking of those 106 rushing yards, according to Elias, the second most by a player in their first career starting quarterback since 1950, trailing only Lamar Jackson's 119 back in 2018. Even more impressive when you consider the Saints had not allowed an individual 100-yard rusher in 55 straight games, and that includes the playoffs. And today, they allowed 2 of them. All right, Tim, let's start with you. First career start for Hurts, and he gets his first win. What was your assessment of what you saw from the rookie in his debut?
I thought he played really well. He's facing a good defense in the Saints, and I thought it was a balanced performance by him. The passing numbers are not, overly impressive, just over 6% of, completion percentage. But he was efficient, didn't have any brutal mistakes. But what he did do an excellent job of was run the football. And I think it was a combination of design runs as well as runs, off of the scramble. Here's a 3rd and 1 where he's met in the hole and he wins the battle. It's a first down. Then backed up, they have a zone read where he keeps the football and he gets a first down. It eventually leads to the long Miles Sanders touchdown run. And then on a 3rd and 2 and kind of a critical moment with the lead, they run him again on a quarterback sweep successfully. But then it was also some of these plays, escaping outside the pocket on a design pass play, running for the first down. You saw it at the end of the first half. It was just a lot of, good opportunities for him. He has a natural ability to know when to run, know where to go when things break down. And I think that was evident, and it was something that it seemed like this Eagles offense kind of fed off of.
Yeah, it looked like reminiscent of what he was doing during his time there in Tuscaloosa before going on to Oklahoma. Rob, what about you? From your defensive eyes, what did you see from Jalen Hurts?
Yeah, he looks good. And look, the Eagles have themselves a quarterback problem because what are they going to do with Wentz next year? I like what I saw to Hurts, his ability to get out of the pocket. The offensive line we know has been decimated with injuries. And this is really the first time I've seen the Eagles offense move the ball with success against the best defense in the NFL. Yeah, that's right. The Saints are a really good defense. So his ability to scramble, extend plays, get out of situations against the blitz, just like in this clip here, getting the ball out of his hands, realizing what he is seeing, beating defensive ends to the edge because he's faster than them. So him taking advantage of what the defense is showing him and going out there and producing, scrambling for first downs. I mean, he made a lot of guys look slow out there. So he's a very fast quarterback, and this is his first start. So what is he going to be as he progresses? I think he's going to learn, become a better quarterback. So, look, the Eagles at this point